Well, welcome back. In this video, I do a bit of work on this Bantam. So this is a BSA Bantam D1. It's a 125cc, and I'm doing some work on this for someone. And it's from the 50s as far as I know. So it's got a few problems. The first one is this kickstart. There's something wrong because it just doesn't return to its position. And I'm not even owning this bike and it annoys me. So we'll fix that up. The other one is the stand. The stand overshoots and it basically doesn't stand up. So I'll try to fix that. And the last problem is it doesn't run. So I need to find out what's happened. I think it probably got low compression. Other than those things, it's a really great bike. So the first thing I do is I want to check out what's going on with the engine, check the compression. And you can see there, it's pretty low. It's about 75 PSI, which I don't think is enough for it to run. So I've got some parts on order. While I'm doing that, I might have a look at this kickstart and see if I can fix it up. So take the sight cover off, remove the exhaust. These are such basic engines really. And it would be nice to hear this running again. So get the side cover off. There's a clutch obviously in there.
That is very loose.
And there's that spring. So that spring is what returns the kickstart on a D1. And it is super loose.
You're a good boy. Good boy.
Jack's, I think Jack likes his bike too. So get the exhaust out the way. And I like that exhaust as well, it's quite neat. Now, I could pull the whole clutch apart, but if you're real careful, you can actually twist this around one rotation without taking the clutch off. It takes a bit of doing, and you got to figure out whether the hassle's worth it or not. So I use a couple pair of pliers. I do mess around with it a bit because you want to be careful the spring doesn't sit over the top of itself. So I spend a bit of time fiddling around with it, and I do eventually get it. And you'll see in a moment where I just click it back in here, and you can see the tension on the spring, and that is way better.
Oh, that's a lot better.
There you go.
Right, let's get this on.
Put the cover back on. That's pretty much the kickstart done. And I think it just makes it so much nicer to start a bike where the kickstart actually works properly. Way better. So I'll lift the bike off the back wheel bit, and you can see there's just slack all over the place with this center stand. So I'll pull out the main support bar, and it doesn't come out that easy actually because it's just so bent up. So give it a clean up, straighten it out, and it looks much better now. The other thing was there's a few bushes missing, so I just knocked up a couple of extra bushes in the lathe, and it's not perfect, but it's much neater fit, and it's tightened up that whole center area. Now I'll test it out. It's a lot better, but it's still overshooting. So I'll just do some pad welding. Now that welding is just right on the contact point for the kickstand, and I'll do it again here and it's way better.
That's better.
So that's kickstart and the stand done. Then I'll pull the head off and find out why has this got low compression. First thing I notice is there's no head gasket, so that is not going to help for a start. Pull the bottom off, and there's no cylinder gasket either. And it's quite a tight fit getting this out with the electronic ignition set up in there, but it comes out. And
I'll measure this up. I think we might get away with this by just rehoning a new rings.
so I measure it up, and what's difficult with this particular engine is this has got an imperial size piston and gudgeon pin, which I searched around. I was just struggling to find one. So what I actually did is I measured the rings that were in there, and you'll see in a moment when I measure them, the gap is just huge, and it's around 30 thou. And what I've realised is it's because when it was done last time, they're actually metric piston rings, and they're just not fitting properly. So I hone it out. I buy some 40 thou over piston rings, which is the same height, but obviously a bit bigger, and I grind the ends down and make it fit, and I end up with a 9 thou clearance. Jack's loving this workshop. So the new pistons rings come, bit of messing about, put a new gasket on there, and I first put the cylinder on like this, trying to fit the piston in, but there's really not much room, so I decided to take it off, fit the piston in partially like this, slide it back over, and then just slide.
Right.
Then I just slide the gudgeon pin in.
That's better.
I think doing it this way is easier, but it's still a pain getting the gudgeon pin clip in. But it's not too bad. I'll put a bit of two-stroke oil in there on the ring. You should probably do that. It's a good idea. Push it down. And those rings should seal really well, because both of those have only got 9 to 10 thou clearance. I put a new head gasket on, which was missing before, tension it up, and do another test of compression. And you can already hear the difference.
It's around 110, so that should be alright.
Nice fuel tanks on these bikes, actually. Put the fuel lines back on. I add a few fuel clips because there weren't any on there before. I just think it's a bit more secure. Put the exhaust pipe back on. And we're nearly ready. Add some fuel. Don't forget, if you enjoy this sort of video, to like and subscribe, and let me know if there's any questions you have. Such a basic carby on this bike, it's unbelievable.
Alright. Well, that's it. All I've got to do now is get it to run.